2 hours and 40 minutes. That's all it took for the largest moving object ever built to vanish beneath the North Atlantic. A ship so vast, so advanced, it was called unsinkable. Yet in the time it takes to watch a feature film, it was gone. Tonight, the temperature hovers near freezing. The sea is glassy calm. A luxury liner, the pride of an era, steams at full speed into a black, starless night. Ice warnings sit ignored in the wireless room. The captain is in his quarters. The passengers dance and dine. No one knows that in just a few hours, more than 2,000 souls will be fighting for their lives in the icy water. The ship that was supposed to be a triumph of human engineering will become its greatest tragedy. But how? How did the unsinkable sink? The answer is not what you expect. It's not just an iceberg. It's a chain of small decisions, a cascade of failures, a series of minutes where everything that could go wrong did. This is the final 2 hours of the Titanic, minute by minute. It is the night of April 14th, 1912. The largest ship afloat is racing across the North Atlantic. Throughout the day, messages arrive. Icebergs, pack ice. The Messenger sends a warning about an ice field with heavy pack ice and large icebergs. But the captain does not slow down. The ship is touted as unsinkable. Therefore, the warnings are ignored. The wireless operator is busy. He is handling passenger telegrams, not ice reports. The Messenger's message never reaches the bridge. It sits unread. The ship plows forward at full speed. No one thinks to stop. In just 2 hours and 40 minutes, about the length of a feature film, this unsinkable ship will be gone. The largest vessel ever built, carrying more than 2,000 souls, will vanish beneath the Black Atlantic. But first, the iceberg must be seen, and it will be too late. Why did the crew ignore these critical messages? It is 11:40 p.m. on April 14, 1912. The Titanic, the largest moving object ever built, glides through a flat Black Sea. Lookout Frederick Fleet rings the bell 3 times, a warning. He calls the bridge Iceberg right ahead. The ship is moving at nearly full speed. The crew has not slowed down, despite multiple ice warnings. One warning from the steamer Messenger described an ice field with heavy pack ice and large icebergs. It never reached the bridge. The helm is turned hard to port. The engines are reversed, but a ship this massive does not turn on a dime. For 37 seconds, the iceberg looms closer. Then, a grinding shudder runs through the hull. Not a violent crash, more like a long, tearing whisper. Steel plates buckle, rivets pop. Below the waterline, a gash opens. Not a single long slash, but a series of punctures across 6 compartments. The captain arrives on the bridge. He asks what they have struck, told it is an iceberg. He orders the ship stopped. Below, the mailroom is flooding. Water pours in at a rate that would fill a swimming pool every few minutes. The ship's designer, Thomas Andrews, is called. He inspects the damage. He knows the math. The Titanic can stay afloat with 4 flooded compartments, but 5 are breached. The ship will sink in 2 hours and 40 minutes, about the length of a feature film. She will be gone. But the passengers do not know this yet. They feel only a slight jolt. Some go back to bed. Others gather on deck, curious. No one panics. The band plays ragtime. The ship is unsinkable, after all. Yet below, the water rises. What unseen damage would doom the ship? Subscribe for more untold stories of history's greatest disasters. The Titanic carried lifeboats for 2,200 plus souls, the capacity of a modern cruise ship. But the davits could only lower half that many. The designers followed outdated maritime law. Lifeboats were not for everyone, just a ferry service to a rescue ship that never came. So the crew began launching, and here is where the math turned cruel. Boat after boat slid down the hull with empty seats. Passengers refused to board. The ship felt solid, warm, safe. Why climb into a tiny wooden rowboat on a freezing night? The officers followed protocol, women and children first. But protocol assumed order, it assumed time. The first lifeboat carried only a fraction of its capacity. The 7th, launched an hour later, still had room. Yet on the lower decks, steerage passengers found gates locked. Third-class families climbed through darkness, searching for a way up. They never found one. By the time the bow dipped and the truth became undeniable, the remaining boats left in a rush, some overloaded, some capsizing. Half the passengers could be saved, half could not. The lifeboats were enough for the law. They were not enough for the night. How did panic and protocol clash in the chaos? The bow is gone, not just flooded, consumed. Water pours through the forward compartments at a rate the designers never imagined. The ship's steel hull, once a symbol of human ambition, now groans under a pressure it was never built to withstand. And the angle begins to change. At first, it is subtle, a slight tilt forward, barely noticeable to those still inside. But the water does not stop. Compartment after compartment fills, each one dragging the bow deeper. The angle steepens. By the time the crew realizes what is happening, the forward deck is already awash. The ship is no longer level. It is a ramp tilting toward the sea. Passengers scramble. Some head for the stern, hoping to climb away from the rising water. Others rush to the lifeboats, but the order to launch has come too late for many. The crew works frantically, but the physics are unforgiving. The more the bow sinks, the faster the water rushes in. A vicious cycle. Now the stern rises. Hundreds of feet of steel lift out of the water, exposing the propellers to the night sky. People lose their footing. They slide, they fall, they cling to anything solid. The ship is no longer a vessel. It is a trap, tilting toward the abyss. What final moments did passengers endure? The stern rises, higher and higher. The massive propellers lift out of the water, exposed to the freezing night air. The ship has been sinking for 2 hours and 35 minutes, almost the length of a feature film. But the unsinkable is not meant to bend. The hull groans, rivets pop, steel plates twist and tear. At 2:15 a.m., the lights flicker, then die. The Titanic goes dark. In that blackness, the strain becomes too much. The ship breaks apart at the surface. The bow plunges forward, the stern falls back, and the two halves separate. The bow disappears instantly. The stern, still buoyant, rights itself for a moment. It hangs there vertical, a ghost ship against the stars. Then it fills. It sinks. 4 hours remain before the Carpathia arrives. But for those in the water, time has already run out. The question that haunts every survivor, every inquiry, every historian: what caused the catastrophic failure? Over 1,500 lives were lost, and the Carpathia arrived 4 hours too late to save most. To understand the final 2 hours of the Titanic, you have to look past the surface. The same pattern shows up again and again, and its effects compound the longer it runs. How did this tragedy change maritime history forever? The Iceberg tears a gash along the hull, but the ship was designed to stay afloat with 4 flooded compartments. The damage extends 6. That is the moment the designer's math fails. The ship is doomed. How did the unsinkable Titanic go from pride of the seas to the ocean floor in just 2 hours? It believed its own hype. In the next 2 hours and 40 minutes, about the length of a feature film, the largest ship afloat slips beneath the waves. Over 2,200 people are on board, enough to fill a modern cruise ship, yet only half will survive. The rescue ship Carpathia takes 4 hours to arrive. By then, the North Atlantic has already claimed its prize. The lesson is quiet, but it cuts deep. The Titanic wasn't sunk by an iceberg. It was sunk by a failure of imagination. The crew ignored ice warnings. The captain did not slow down. The lifeboats were only enough for half. Because the ship was called unsinkable, no one prepared for the worst. When you believe you are invincible, you stop looking for cracks. And the cracks are always there, but the Titanic is not the only story of overconfidence. In our next episode, we uncover a hidden monopoly that thought it was too big to fail until it did. This is the Monopoly Matrix, where business meets history.